Synapse repositioner. We call it the neuralizer.
Even though I'm foreign ground, let them know I'm around. I don't follow everybody when it's time to rap. At one time, everybody thought the world was flat.
That word takes on new meaning. It don't mean what you're thinking. It means full spectrum dominance for real. And you won't be born unless you have a function to fulfill. A scientific dictatorship's more efficient, cause we ain't gotta waste effort to entertain your pathetic bitches. We just stick a chip in you. We don't particularly care. Immerse yourself, soon you'll be able to Google Earth yourself. Real time with no computer, we will make humans super. It's the ultimate Trojan horse. Once you marry the beast, there ain't no divorce. We got the populace brainwashed, all in a state of shock.
You will always have a special place in my heart.
An identification implant. Come with us, rebel.
The populace brainwashed, all in a state of shock. We got the military industrial complex, food squad all on your block. And if you happen to become aware that we don't particularly care, cause we got the neutron bombs that instantly suck the oxygen right out of your air.
Many of us were told in private conversations that if we voted against this bill on Monday, there would be martial law in America.
To reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars, vaccines for your arms, feeling like supercharged, caffeinated 8-field scars from rage quit repertoires, no answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours, imposter truth like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars, no remedy can save the lost in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards, soaked in sin with your dude was the light and a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love, I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Welcome to the show. If you don't know. Intoxicated hate makes you believe you're spinning in space, why you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate, how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one taught me stay awake or educate, I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late, and now rockets, they don't work in space, it's all fake. The show is on Mars, it's a joke, but you're too far gone. Won't be long, we have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond and lives of truth that leads the bond and sings the song that turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with holding on and on, swearing our holy crowns. The earth is flat and probably just won't get along. Welcome to the show. the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars. Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged. Caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. Answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposted truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost and love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe was delight and a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love. I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all again soon. Peace, everyone. Write music, do your art, have fun. Yay. Stay focused on that.
So where's the edge?
Who's to say that there is an edge, and why assume there is one? Is it because when we are introduced to the idea of a flat Earth, it's always depicted like this? In the currently most accepted model, Antarctica is not a continent, but a 360-degree landmass made up of ice that holds the oceans within. When we look at a Gleason's map from 1892 that states at the top that it's scientifically and practically correct, as is. We see this Antarctic ice rim. The Gleason's map is basically an azimuthal equidistant projection, which can be traced back to the year 1000. The AE map is also an official map of the United States Geological Survey, the USGS, and the official logo for the United Nations. The oldest known globe in the world is from 1492. This is something you need to keep in mind because many people argue that the azimuthal equidistant map is just a flattened out version of the globe, when in fact the globe is just a rounded version of this true world flat map. If the flat map came first and it has the ability to convert into a globe without any problems whatsoever, then that should tell you a little bit about how this globe deception was achieved. Now, back to if there is an edge or not. There is no proof that there is an edge past the Antarctic ice wall, but it is speculated by many that perhaps the plane that we live on is either extremely expansive or it's possibly endless. In these two scenarios, it would be logically assumed that more land is being hidden from the general public. In a 1954 interview with Admiral Richard E. Byrd, an American naval officer who specialized in exploration, he had this to say.
But strangely enough, there is left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
Implying that there is more land past Antarctica. If that uninhabited land was on a globe, it would be in the Indian Ocean. A recent discovery of an old Buddhist map in a newspaper from 1907 seems to support the idea of a vast plain with much more land.
Where does the sun go if the Earth is flat?
Well, the sun neither rises nor sets, but travels in a clockwise circuit from east to west, and only appears to rise and set due to perspective. The sun disappears at the vanishing point of human perspective on the horizon where the ground meets the sky, and since the sun is not 93 million miles away, I repeat, not 93 million miles away, but much closer and smaller, the light emanating from the sun only illuminates about half of the flat plane at once as it makes its daily journey.
What's underneath the flat Earth?
This is obviously an unanswerable question since the assumed edge has never been known to be reached, but many people suppose that whether the Earth is round or flat, that either way, it still must be floating in the middle of outer space. But the idea of outer space goes out the window with the round Earth theory. Many religious texts support an immovable Earth that has its foundations on which it is laid and its pillars by which it is supported. We simply don't know, but we do know that the Earth is obviously fixed in place, as we can tell by our everyday experience of non-movement. What we see in the skies above are illuminated objects making circles around us just as it appears. Whatever this place may be, it's the center of all we survey. Some say that the Earth is the floor of the universe. In the ancient Hebrew conception of the universe, we are surrounded by the waters above and the waters below, known as the Great Deep. The deepest hole ever drilled into the Earth was a total of about 7.5 miles. The very core of the Earth is nothing more than wild speculation, if not another malicious lie. So what's under the Earth? That remains a mystery to us all. But another thing that you can research is what's inside the Earth. Multi-billion-dollar deep underground military bases known as DUMBs, D-U-M-Bs, right?
What about ships and boats disappearing over the horizon?
This is also due to human perspective. They don't go over the horizon, they go into the horizon, moving beyond the limit of our vision and past the vanishing point. But the ships and boats are easily brought back into view with a pair of binoculars, a telescope, and any camera with a good zoom lens. A great question to ask yourself is why can't we see noticeable curvature from 120,000 feet up? But many people claim that the supposed curvature can be seen from the ground by watching boats. It doesn't make sense.
And what about all of the pictures of the Earth?
They are all clearly computer-generated images. They claim this picture from Apollo 17 in 1972 is real, and they also claim that the 2015 Epic Earth picture is real. But NASA employee Robert Simon gave us a glimpse of how they do it when he shared his experience of creating the Blue Marble 2.0 in 2002. He is now called Mr. Blue Marble. He was interviewed and on record stating, "The last time anyone took a photograph from above low Earth orbit that showed an entire hemisphere, one side of the globe, was in 1972. during Apollo 17. NASA's Earth Observing System, EOS, satellites were designed to give a checkup of Earth's health. By 2002, we finally had enough data to make a snapshot of the entire Earth, so we did.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0. NASA's Rob Simon made this. Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command-Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Why are all the other planets round then?
When you compare amateur footage done with professional-grade cameras and compare it to NASA's official images of planets and stars, it's clear that NASA images are all computer-generated, no different than the photos of Earth. What have become known as planets are round lights that seem to be set over the flat Earth. The so-called planets and stars are not what we have been told they are, and comparing luminous objects that you see in the sky to the Earth under your feet is very ineffective for actually proving the supposed rotundity of the Earth. Since there are no actual photographs of the Earth, and motion has never been experienced or proven, it would seem more logical for one to assume that we are on a flat, motionless plane, and everything we see in the heavens revolves around us.
What about satellites and GPS?
As crazy as it may sound, satellites are a hoax. Have you ever wondered why there are never any damaged or fallen satellites? And why there are no satellite malfunctions due to constant heating and cooling? It's weird they don't melt in the thermosphere that's over 2,000 degrees. I find myself looking at the moon and wondering why we never see satellites pass by the moon. Did you know there are thousands of miles of fiber optic cables under the seabed that supplies 90% of the Earth's communication, internet, phones, etc.? And GPS works off of cell phone towers. It's called triangulation. Haven't you seen those really tall towers and wondered what they are? Satellite TV is just enhanced radio using ground-based towers. It's all ground-based, just like the old TV antenna. Science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke proposed the idea of geostationary satellites in 1945 in a magazine called Wireless World. And 20 years later, in 1965, they claim to have successfully launched the first commercial geostationary communication satellite. Today, there are said to be thousands, but the odd thing is that trying to prove it only leaves you fruitless.
Is outer space even real?
Yes and no. What you see in the sky as far as stars and wandering stars, also known as planets, are there. How could we deny them? We don't know what they actually are, but they are there. Now, what we are told about outer space and what it is not true at all. Everything we believe about so-called outer space is due mostly to Hollywood movies and other media, including children's cartoons. Of course, NASA propaganda is the biggest culprit. As we have already gone over, there are no pictures of Earth, and even images of all the other so-called planets are computer-generated. NASA has gone on record numerous times stating that humans can't get past low Earth orbit.
NASA's next spacecraft, already being built and tested across America, will do those things and more.
This is the spacecraft that's going to take humans to explore the solar system. It's the next big step for NASA in exploration.
Called the Orion Multipurpose Crew Vehicle, or MPCV, this next-generation spacecraft will enable America to explore beyond low Earth orbit.
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
And unlike the previous program, we are setting a course with specific and achievable milestones. Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit is supposedly between 99 and 1,200 miles away. The funny thing is that they say the moon is over 200,000 miles away. How did we make it so far in the 1960s and 70s if we can't do it today? Also, the International Space Station, just like everything else brought to us by NASA, is a fake Freemasonic hoax, completely fabricated and done with special effects, models, pools, zero-G planes, and various other camera tricks.
How is circumnavigation possible on a flat Earth?
Very easily. You can travel east and west directions to ultimately end up right back where you started. The face of the Earth looks similar to that of a clock. In fact, clocks were most likely designed after the true appearance of our world. If you follow a compass east for long enough, you'll make a full circuit. Same thing if you travel west long enough. As we've already gone over, the flat Earth map that was around before globes were easily converts to a globe. So everything you believe you are doing on a globe is actually taking place on a flat Earth.
How come the moon is upside down in the southern hemisphere?
This is another very simple explanation. When somebody is in the northern part of the Earth, or on the northern part of the Earth, they see the moon from this angle. When somebody is on the southern part of the Earth, the moon looks like this. They're looking at it from this angle. They see it from the opposite angle, and that's all it is. Imagine you tape a picture of the moon in the center of your living room, right? Depending on where you are in the room, the moon will be seen differently. When pondering this question, keep in mind that the face of the moon never changes. On a spherical Earth, we'd expect to see other sides, but we never have.
What about the seasons?
The sun is close and small, and it circles around and above the flat Earth in a spiral pattern on the Tropic of Cancer in the northern summer months, and then down in the Tropic of Capricorn in the northern winter months. So when the sun is further away from the North Pole, right, the center of the flat Earth, it's winter in the north and summer in the south. Since the sun is smaller than we are told and closer, it makes much more sense that we experience seasons in the first place. If the sun was 93 million miles away and had a radius of over 400,000 miles, we would hardly experience temperature fluctuation as we do.
What about gravity?
Gravity is necessary in order for a spinning ball Earth to work. People readily believe that you can't fall off of a spinning ball that's darting through outer space at speeds that you can't even comprehend, yet they will deny how much easier it is to stay on a flat surface that doesn't move. Gravity is a scapegoat for all that cannot be explained, and it has never been proven. The reason why things fall or float is because of density and buoyancy. If something is heavier than air, it falls. If it's lighter than air, it floats. Very straightforward. Your phone is denser than the air, therefore it falls when you drop it. Everything works because of density. No need to factor in imaginary components. Quote, "The law of gravitation is said by the advocates of the Newtonian system of astronomy to be the greatest discovery of science, and the foundation of the whole of modern astronomy. If therefore it can be shown that gravitation is a pure assumption, and an imagination of the mind only, that it has no existence outside of the brains of its expounders and advocates, the whole of the hypotheses of this modern so-called science fall to the ground as flat as the surface of the ocean. And this most exact of all sciences, this wonderful feat of the intellect, becomes at once the most ridiculous superstition and the most gigantic imposture to which ignorance and credulity could ever be exposed." Thomas Winship, Zetetic Cosmogony.
What about the Coriolis effect?
They say that the Coriolis effect is a result of the Earth spinning and is responsible for the deflection of an object moving above the Earth, rightward in the northern hemisphere and leftward in the southern hemisphere. The problem is that things like hurricanes and water in the sink aren't always predictable and have been known to spin both ways in either hemisphere. Also, another contradiction that proves the Coriolis effect false is the fact that no flying machine above the Earth has to account for it. If a bullet that travels 1,700 miles per hour has to account for the effect, then an airplane traveling at 550 miles per hour would definitely have to account for the effect. When you look for the answer, you'll find that we are told that since the atmosphere moves with the spin of the Earth, planes aren't affected. So why would bullets be? Especially when they go much faster than common airplanes.
Why can't I see infinitely far?
This is for the people that wonder why they can't see certain things that they believe they should be able to see if the Earth was flat. I've been asked on numerous occasions, why can't I see Mount Everest from anywhere on Earth? I've also been asked, why can't I see Spain from the east coast of America? Well, besides dirt, dust, dew, rain, fog, smog, smoke, clouds, mist, haze, snow, etc., your vision is limited by the vanishing point of your perception. Check your weather app on your phone and notice the visibility in your area.
Is the flat Earth a religious thing?
Yes and no. I say this because I myself am not religious. I'd rather not have faith in something, but know the facts to the best of my ability. And the facts are that the curvature and motion of the earth have never been proven. The Bible, without any doubt whatsoever, supports the earth that's fixed in place. The Book of Enoch, which is biblically endorsed and most likely belongs in the Bible, describes the flat stationary enclosed earth in great detail. Many religions and civilizations preceding Judaism and Christianity support a flat and stationary earth, such as the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Norse, the Hindus, etc. This fantastic spinning globe earth is very new to the people of the world, yet most of us carry on as if the theory is unquestionable, and we've been conditioned to laugh when the flat earth is brought up. Whether you are religious or not, you can see the flat earth for yourself.
Is the Flat Earth Society behind the resurgence of the Flat Earth?
No, the Flat Earth Society is designed as a containment unit. Gatekeepers that tell the truth about some stuff, but then lie about other things in order to make it appear ridiculous or steer you in the wrong direction. For instance, this is what FES has to say about gravity. In the Flat Earth model, gravity, rather than being a force, is the upward acceleration of the flat Earth. The Earth always accelerates upward at 1g, which is equivalent to the gravitational acceleration in the round Earth model. Like the force of gravity, the Earth's acceleration causes several commonly observed phenomena in our daily lives. If that isn't the biggest turnoff, I don't know what is. The Flat Earth argument has never died. It only died down. Real flat earthers have always been among us, but it wasn't until late 2014, early 2015, when Eric Dubay started making a lot of noise about the flat earth conspiracy and got people like myself on board. It took me 10 months of research before finally accepting the truth about where we live. Thanks to the many great flat earth researchers, content creators, and activists since then, more and more people are waking up to the massive deception every day.
Are all scientists, pilots, and members of the government in on it?
No, most scientists, pilots, and members of the government have been indoctrinated just as the rest of us have. When they work at their everyday job, they go about it as if the Earth is most certainly spherical. If indeed some of these people did know the Earth is flat, they most likely wouldn't even speak out about it in fear of losing their job or ruining their reputation. The average scientist goes about everything they do with the spherical Earth already factored in. For mainstream science, questioning our current model is a huge no-no. For pilots, computers do most of their work, not to take away from what they do because I personally appreciate it, and also pilots often switch out at stops, making it difficult to understand the real layout of Earth's land masses. As far as government members and politicians go, besides high-ranking officials at NASA, which isn't government at all, it's safe to assume that they are not in the know and they are not knowingly perpetrating this lie. Very few people compared to the population of the world are enlightened to the flat Earth.
NASA isn't the only space agency. Are all others in on it too?
The answer is yes. Here's a short clip on what you need to know.
The Vector, NASA's official logo. If you've ever looked at NASA's official logo, both their official insignia and their official seal, you'll see that the most prominent object in the seal is a red swooshing object. They call that the chevron or the vector. If you ask NASA's Public Affairs Office, this symbology is featured so heavily in their insignia and seal, they'll give you what really amounts to the standard facile cover story for the unilluminated. They'll tell you that that is a representation of a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s, which was the time the logo was created. Not exactly the case. Someone might want to ask the Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, that was formed in 1992, why they chose that same logo. And while you're at it, you can go ask the Chinese, who formed their space agency in 1996, why in the world they're using a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s as their official logo. Then you can ask the Japanese, the South Koreans, Taiwanese, Malaysia, Mexico, Iran, all of these countries, even Bulgaria. They all utilize the vector symbology in their space agency logos for their national space agencies. It gets even deeper. You can go look at the individual manned program patches for NASA. The Mercury program, for example, a blatant use of covert symbology. In every logo dealing with the Mercury program, you'll see what looks like a number 7 in their logo. And again, NASA's official story is that they put this number 7 there so that they could pay homage to the original 7 Mercury astronauts. Kind of forgetting the fact that only 6 Mercury astronauts actually flew into space, because number 7 never did. Deke Slayton had a heart problem, so he didn't get to go up. So there were only 6 Mercury astronauts, yet there's a 7 in every single logo. That's in the official mission or official program insignia for Mercury, as well as the 6 individual mission patches carry this logo. And it carries on to the Space Shuttle program. If you look at the Apollo logo has a big letter A in it. At least that's what they want you to believe, but it's not. Again, that's just a simple way of explaining away the inclusion of this vector symbology in the logo. If you go to the Space Shuttle program, the original Space Shuttle STS program patch is a triangular patch that, again, hides the use of the chevronic vector symbology. And that also goes for many of the STS-specific mission patches. Every single one of the International Space Station expedition patches carry the vector symbology. The Russian Mir space station used the vector symbology. That was their official logo. You can even go deeper and look at military-industrial complex companies. Look at the logo on a company like Lockheed Martin, 2 vectors. The X Prize logo, Ames Research Labs, U.S. Space Command. When you get into the military realm, the United States Space Command, their official logo is the vector symbol. And when you look at the military's individual space-specific programs, all of them deal with vector symbology in their official insignias. And the question really becomes, who or what are these people paying homage to?
Let's look at NASA's Earthrise. Now let's look at JAXA's Earthrise. Do you believe this is real?
Well then, who's responsible for this deception?
You will find that the Jesuits and the Vatican have been intimately involved in all things space, including owning the earliest telescopes and, to this day, the largest owners of observatories and telescopes in the world. The Society of Jesuits have been actively spreading the heliocentric theory for 500 years, while trying to bury thousands of years of flat Earth cosmology. The Jesuits are rulers of all powers that we are aware of, and have been ruthless in their pursuit of world domination for centuries, no matter who is killed or what has to be done to establish a one-world order out of chaos. They rule over, or are deeply partnered with, people like the Rothschilds and many other international banksters, secret societies, especially the Freemasons, as well as Zionist Jews, and especially Zionist Jews in seats of power. They rule over all the alphabet agencies and government think tanks, including the NSA, CIA, FBI, Mossad, KGB, Roundtable, Committee of 300, Tavistock Institute, Lucius Trust Publishing, Bilderberg Group, and the Council of Foreign Relations, including representative government and legislation like the U.S. Presidency, Congress, and the Supreme Court. The Jesuit order is said to have been established by Jews, again showing that the Jews are behind some of the biggest hoaxes in history, including the Holocaust. Freemasons are also spread out all over the world to further the different agendas that serve this Illuminati elite. Their desire is to convince us that we are only one of a septillion other planets flying through infinite space. A septillion? Where do they get these numbers? A septillion has 24 zeros. They want us to think that we are nothing more than a cosmic accident caused by a big bang that took place 14 billion years ago. Again, where do they get these numbers? How one could draw that conclusion is unknown. They want us not to understand our origin and go on believing that life is meaningless. They want us to believe that alien life is real and that they created us. Look no further than ancient aliens for the propaganda. Not to mention countless shows and movies they program us with. This isn't just about flat Earth versus round Earth. It's much bigger than that. Whatever they plan on doing needed the spherical Earth groundwork laid before they could proceed. They may either shock us with a fake alien invasion, or a disclosure of the beings that have always been among us, passed off as life from distant galaxies. Who knows? Another reason to turn the Earth into a ball is to hide extra land. If this is a vast plain, and there are places past Antarctica, with more oceans and more land masses, then an easy way to get rid of them is to wrap our part of this plain around a ball and make it seem as if there is nothing else and everything has already been discovered. The globe is full-fledged slavery for the inquiring mind.
I'd like to be an explorer, like the great Magellan.
Oh, well, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
What does it mean if the Earth is flat?
It means that the origin of man is deliberately being covered up from us. Man, woman, child, you are being deceived on a massive scale. Flat Earth, enclosed flat Earth, expansive plane flat Earth, or even infinite plane flat Earth with an infinite ceiling barrier, or possibly another plane of existence above us and below us. It means that this place was created, that you were designed, you were crafted, you are special and with purpose. A purpose being hidden from you on purpose. We are supposed to know our world and our reason for being. We've been swallowed whole by this economic fiat money system that controls absolutely everything and fuels this manufactured reality. Most of us know that we are slaves, and it's no wonder we desire to escape through movies, TV shows, and video games that happen to also further our programming and mental conditioning. We were never meant to live like this, and knowledge of our flat Earth is a step in the right direction. It's something that can't be taken from us. It's the fuel that we need to let these bastards know that we won't go down in ignorance. We will not willingly accept their one world authority that wants to rule over all mind and all matter. Embrace this flat world of ours and free your mind from the globalist mind control. It's time that we stand up for ourselves and our beautiful Earth. All I want to know is, who's coming with me?
Seems on some of these it's entertainment, and he does entertain the crowd, and he has people laughing at these events.
Maybe we could say it was a funny drug reaction to the flu.
$250 billion a year in the Defense Department. What good are they if they show nothing?
This virus and its symptoms. Can you help us separate fact from fiction here?
Always look flat.
With a lot of stuff.
A package, banker bailouts, constant lies, wars, crime, stealing our lives.
Maybe Flat Earth. Subscribe.
1984, a year that had been long associated with the George Orwell novel. Now that the real 1984 was upon us, what type of year was it going to be? Would 1984 be an Orwellian dystopian nightmare, or would 84 be bright, cheery, and nauseating, like a Mary Lou? You make the call. 7th, while he was filming a Pepsi commercial. As Jackson walked down a staircase on stage, a spark from the house pyrotechnics landed on his head, which was unwittingly filled with flammable hair product. Heading into February, we go to space. During NASA's space shuttle mission STS-41B on the 7th, astronauts Captain Bruce McCandless and Colonel Robert Stewart made history's first untethered spacewalk. With the aid of 300-pound nitrogen-propelled backpacks, the astronauts made 2 spacewalks during the mission. The first mission lasted 5 hours and 55 minutes, floating a football field's length away from the Space Shuttle Challenger. It was late February when David Vedder, the Houston boy who was confined to a plastic bubble for his entire life,
and 13 to 14.
Let's see it.
11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11, and then
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Other things we would not dream of giving you less than the full amount. In fact, I will personally make sure.
All things we're so familiar with until it happens where we live. And it is happening where we live.
As zapiski z gałkami.
As it flows through your body, works its way through your veins. A vaccine is provided, all the faces and names. But light is shining down upon its losses and gains. This epiphany should help you see that things need to change. Break the chains. As I walk down the valley of the shadow of death, I cannot get away from what I cannot forget. And who will be responsible for who is misled? You got a hair put on your shoulder while you gamble in it. Yeah! Break the chain. Break the chain. Break the chain. Break the chain. Break the chains. Break the chains till nothing remains. 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 You will rather remain. You will rather remain. You will rather remain.
In order to see true nature of the Earth, we have to remove a completely false narrative.
Very interesting. Here's what's happening. What you're seeing here is Photoshop, but it has to be.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible, and you can tell it's for CGI because it looks so fake, honestly. You know, the colors all look kind of weird, you know, like everything looks too crisp.
Science is how made for best explained as complete delusion.
If you narrow down the government to one person, it would be like, would you agree it'd be like the government's kind of like John Guy, right? Like a gangster, you know what I mean?
We'd say the Earth is round because we've been told it's round.
This was not an actual Gemini mission. Nobody left the ground. Gemini did not abort. We have simply edited together an isolated launch with shots of the flight controllers simulating that launch. Like many other things in the space age, flight simulation is done by computers.
We leave you much that is undone. Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
A former Nazi. Werner von Braun was an SS officer during World War II, and yet less than 2 decades later, von Braun was leading a team of NASA scientists,
Our space satellite will have the shape of a wheel. This advanced space station will be headquarters for the final ascent to the moon.
America in space.
Flat Earth, 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 flat Earth.
With horror, anger,
flat Earth, 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 flat Earth,
and grief. Ready to loot, rob, attack, and menace. Chaos are the mission at hand. Already been arrested and charged with murder. State and federal authorities are carrying out an investigation to see what further charges may be warranted, including against Sadly, the other three.
Flat Earth, 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 flat Earth.
Master, how do I find enlightenment?
Easy. Yellow Book.
Yellow Book?
We are all searching for something. A new car, a reliable plumber, a comfortable leather sofa. The more choices one has, the easier the quest.
You're saying Yellow Book is the key to it all?
The path to enlightenment starts with Yellow Book. To find the answer, one must look inside.
Yellow Book, not the other book. 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Twice.
Oh, yeah, that would be disastrous. Disastrous. Because right now, here in New York, you can calculate at our latitude, we are all moving with the Earth at 800 miles an hour, due east, because Earth is rotating. If you stopped Earth and you weren't seatbelt buckled to the Earth, you would fall over and roll 800 miles an hour due east. It would kill everyone on Earth. People would be flying out of windows, and that would just be a bad day on Earth. I'm just saying. If somehow we all slow down, so anything not bolted, if somehow we all slow down, so anything not bolted, if the Earth would fly due east 800 miles an hour. That's what happens to you in a car if you hit a brick wall and you're not wearing a seatbelt. You keep going.
Earth is not the shape of a basketball. And nobody really cares. And that should be the biggest news story in the world right now.
And the moon and planets that we could never get to.
NASA polices deflector.
Ground and there's green grass growing all around, and green grass growing all around. Mighty fine forces that go around the Earth, so they never fall down.
Why, what do you mean, sir?
Freemasons run the country.
Boom shakalaka!
All in just one day. That's what I would call being on the ball. Ow!
Stupid people and violence. Stupid people and violence.
But that's the kind of language stupid people.
What's up, the American dream, really? Stupid people. Stupid people. Stupid people.
What? 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 What?
Liz. Hi.
Sam. Haven't seen you for ages.
I've been researching.
Stupid people and violence.
I think the suits pretty much had control of it by then, and we're running with the ball.
What a beauty demands such praise. What of the splendor outshines the sun? What of the majesty rules justice? Only a holy God, forever a holy God. Come and worship the holy God. What of the glory consumes like fire? What of the power can raise the dead? What of the name that is undefeated? Only a holy God. Come and behold the one and the only. Cry out, say holy. Come and behold the one and the only. Cry out, say holy. Forever a holy God. Come and worship the
Should be on, I'm not too sure. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, this is so nice. I'm so happy that so many good people are coming together. You know.
Yeah,
How-
man.
how you
It's
feeling?
good to do battle again.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off.
One small step for man. One small step for man.
The earth is flat and that's a matter of fact. I'm tired of being lied to, I'm taking my mind back. I'm taking my life back and I'm waking up slowly. I wanna thank you, Yeshua, for all that you showed me. FBI, we know you lie, and NASA, you do too. Cause in the sky, there's a dome that you cannot get through. You say that you care, but you put fluoride in our water. Shrinking our pineal glands, we're just sheep to the slaughter. Man, we're Jews to the chamber. Our lives are in danger, but sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Our lives are confliction, technology addiction. Take a look around at the world that you live in. Are you spinning? Are you upside down? You really believe the earth is round? Gravity is a theory and is yet to be proven, and so is Big Bang, relativity, and the theory of evolution. A fish became a lizard, then a monkey, then a man. The heliocentric theory is part of their master plan. Are you starting to understand their plan? You're significant, special, and you have a purpose, man. You're significant, special, and have a purpose. What's wrong, little Lucifer? Why you looking so nervous? We were programmed at a young age to sit still and not ask questions. Sit in our assigned seat and force-fed their lessons. We need to raise our hand for permission to use the bathroom. And there's a globe in every classroom. I want it back, I want it back.
You can't have it, it's ours.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's mine.
You'll never get it back, it's too late.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's my mind, it's not yours.
You can't have it, it's ours.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's my mind, it's not yours, not anymore.
It's my desire, it's not my duty to try to talk to you. I'm candor about what is happening on the radio. If what I say is responsible, I alone.
Not anymore.
How would you like it if someone told you the truth?
You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. You just don't. That stuff is flat. Flat. Flat.
Scientists wrote that the Earth is flat.
Harris has finally followed the trail of flat Earth breadcrumbs I've been dropping.
1984. The world gets still. The world is flat and this flat Earth is in your...
I believe the Earth is flat, despite what big round Earth money and their anti-flat Earth agenda want you to believe.
The Earth is flat, living in illusion. The Earth is flat.
It did look flat out of my window.
Some illusion. The Earth is flat.
But they lose their greatest fears when they think, you know, they're finding out that chemtrails are not poison being sprayed in the sky. And
I believe the world is flat. Don't care what you think or anyone else.
And someone else says it's flat.
On Mount Rubidoux, the words Google Flat Earth were found carved into the riverside hill in letters that were 10 feet long.
No curvature in the horizon. Flat Earth video, no curvature in the horizon. Flat Earth video, no curvature in the...
See the world. People are crazy.
The world is flat and weary.
Thought you were a hip cat. But how can you say that this world ain't flat?
I used to think the world was flat.
Fluoride should never be added to our water supply.
But I do! Because it's flat. Boom, you
Hypnotize my mind, convince me that this world is still flat. For the same, your hope is brainwashed Jones. There's no other way! And there's that, unless the world is flat. If Columbus had can fly, this whole world might still be flat.
Or they're out of office, or the world isn't flat after all.
I thought I made a big mistake. The earth ain't flat.
Also, flat wrong.
They said so publicly.
It's flat wrong.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth.
What we need to do is flatten the curve.
Up on the surface, the earth looks around.
Moon landing was faked, or the argument that the earth is flat and that scientists are covering it up.
But it's a godless city of cold flat ground.
That stuff is flat.
So, what we can see and feel has been discredited because we're on a spinning ball, spinning thousands of miles an hour in an infinite void, spinning around a fireball.
Call me a flat earther.
Going nowhere.
If I told you to call me a flat earther, stuff, call me a flat earther, stuff, that all this global warming stuff is a bunch of crap. What would you tell me?
And 90% of the matter energy you can't see, touch, or feel. It's called dark energy.
Call me a flat
dark matter. And everything is pointless, and human beings are nothing but random atoms that collide together. No! How fast does the Earth spin? 1,000 miles an hour. So 1,000th of 1,000 miles an hour is 1 mile an hour shift. Asteroids, magnetism, the fact that there's an unfathomable amount of water on it just shifting all the time. Space is void of everything, right? It's a perfect vacuum. Oh, by the way, Bill Nye the Science Guy says he proves that the Earth is a ball because you can see a ship slowly disappear in the horizon. You can't. That isn't even true. Do you know that every mile squared is 8 inches? So at 1 mile there should be an 8-inch drop. At 2 miles there should be a 64-inch.
Man, that's the best idea since they faked the moon landing.
It's an exponential shift. I can't remember the exact math. But there's a salt flats in South America that's like 150 miles, so you can see across. If the Earth is curved the way they say it's curved, there would be like a 8,000-foot drop. Do The irony is people say that you're so stupid if you question NASA's depiction of the Earth when, okay, so the ultimate vacuum, right? Why wouldn't the molecules of the atmosphere be sucked out into space? There's an answer to this. It's a slow gradient. So there's the farther away you get, it balances out with gravity. This is what the scientists say. So way, way, way up there, the air is so thin, and gravity is still affecting it. There's just kind of a slow, gradual thing, and that's why there isn't a big difference between the vacuum of space and Earth. Like if it was this air pressure in the vacuum of space, it would just go, it would just be like opening a door in an airplane. But since the farther up you go, the less air pressure you have, blah, blah. Okay, but that doesn't really work. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're traveling from California to New York, and the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour underneath you, and you're going 300 miles an hour, okay, you would never get to your destination. And if someone says, no, but you're within the atmosphere. No, you just said we weren't. The vacuum of space, right? Way up, 30,000 feet up above. The solar atmosphere, you're not connected to the atmosphere of space. That's why the vacuum literally isn't sucking anything because it's a slow gradient to infinite nothingness, right? The fact that you have never even thought of that means there's more to the story than meets the eye. It means you've been indoctrinated. Why do they keep selling us on the same thing? Infinite emptiness, heliocentric model, that's a cult. The sun cult. I don't know what it is. I don't. All I know is NASA lies all the time. All I know is that our observable reality is the Earth is not moving. All I know is that the sun and the moon, the sun is 400 times farther away and 400 times bigger than the moon. That's why they're exactly the same size. Do you know the odds of that? Almost zero. It's so zero that our two biggest celestial objects are exactly the same size in the sky, even though the difference in size is 400 times different in size, but yet they're the same size in the sky. That's not a natural reason. That's a lie. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's like as if, like this phone, if I just randomly held up my phone, it's the same exact size of my window, the square, exact. Except now make it huge, make it 93 million miles and just make it the only two objects in the sky, and they just happen to do eclipses perfectly. That's ridiculous. How many inches per mile curve does the Earth curve? The Earth has a radius of approximately, 8 inches per mile squared. Okay, how far away can a ship see a lighthouse? 42 miles away. That would fall 996 feet below sightline. No questions. It's all good? I don't think all good. There would be 1,000 feet of drop. 1,000 feet. You ever shine a flashlight over a 1,000-foot hole? If you're in the bottom of the hole, you wouldn't see the flashlight. Do you even know what light is? What a photon is? Oh, it's a wave and a particle. How? Care to explain how some can be a wave and a particle, depending on who you're lying to? Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up, guys. Doesn't add up one bit. So this is how lies fall apart. One honest person questioning always spirals lies. So when I thought that the vacuum of space, because I don't have an agenda. I'm not in the Flat Earth Society. I think that's a psyop, by the way. The vacuum of space doesn't suck out the atmosphere because it's such a slow gradient that up there isn't really atmosphere. That it counterbalances with gravity, inertia, all these forces, so the air molecules just kind of stay in a haze, and there's basically no atmosphere whatsoever to the point where a perfect vacuum doesn't suck it, right? That's where the planes are. If an Earth is going 1,000 miles an hour underneath the plane, and a plane's going 300 miles an hour, how on earth is it traveling west to east? No one cares, huh? And when people call me stupid, you don't even know how planes work. Bernoulli's principle, none of that stuff. I look into all this stuff, and I'm not trying to make people think the Earth is flat. I mean, just all evidence says that. I mean, all navigation is based on a flat Earth. How the fuck do planes travel west to east, east to west? Do they go 1,300 miles an hour if they're going with the spin? Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense.
Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
By the way, for most of human existence, no one thought the Earth was a ball spinning through infinite vacuum around a fireball. Okay, Earth's tilt is exactly 66.6 degrees. Okay, watch Google try desperately to not reveal this.
I'm one of the science guys, and I'm one of the repair guys.
About 67,000. Oh, you mean 66,600 miles an hour?
Houston, are you ready for the event?
No, it's probably made up. You understand that they get to just pick these numbers. So you're like, okay, let's say it's tilted at 66.6 degrees, but you have to inverse and put it upside down in order to see it. How fast is it going? You know how fast. 66,600 miles an hour. It's great.
close to our house.
Looks like we're being poisoned.
Well, I don't know where they come from, but they sure do come. The Masons coming for me! And I don't know how they tricked us, but they tricked us good. They make us think that we're free! They give me flat smack fever! Flat smack fever!
Well, my first time with Providus, I was 5 years old. I got it from some masons at school. I went to see the ocean, but there was no curve. NASA gets what they deserve. They gave me flat smack fever. Flat smack fever. I got it, bad smack fever. Flat smack fever. The earth ain't spinning. Reclaim your brain. You got to change. You know you're Goldie Way. You're going insane. It makes a grown man lying. Won't you free your head? Well, I make the Globies growl with the sound of my band. They know they get you from me. They know it's time to go when they see my smacking hand. They know I do it for free. I hear the flat smack fever. Flat smack fever. They got it, bad smack fever. Flat 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 smack fever.
That's not.
Can you tell us if it's round or if it's flat?
It's flat. The world is flat.
The world is flat.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat. The world is flat.
The earth is round or flat.
No. Not allowed to debate this. The earth was flat.
The earth is flat.
The world is flat.
The world is flat.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
The earth is still flat.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
The world is flat.
The earth is flat.
How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat. The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Space is fake.
The world is flat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's not.
Good beat on things.
That's not.
Knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat in 15 minutes.
That's not. That's not.
space jump. But the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. You don't see the curvature of the Earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
In Apollo 8, the commander, Colonel Borman, mentioned the views of Mr. Samuel Shenton, president of the International Flat Earth Society, who lives in Dover and who believes the Earth is shaped like a gramophone record.
Links very much with the statement which was given out by General Boardman, the astronaut. The Earth in its early stages was revealed from the waters, and it was revealed as a four-square fabric.
Like this, in fact.
The astronauts fired off from Cape Canaveral. They went on an egg-shaped orbit over this like that.
Keeping the same height all the time?
Absolutely so.
In fact, there isn't any South Pole.
No. The 60,000 miles was round the ice barrier. And so far, man has not gone across the ice barrier to investigate any further.
Research flat Earth.
Blaze New York Reuben.
You can see our case fatality rate is about half to a third of many of the other countries. And
does anybody really believe this number? Does anybody really believe this number?
I put China on there so you could see how basically unrealistic this could be.
Does anybody really believe that? You see what's going on there. Does anybody, you put that slide back with you. Does anybody believe this number? Does anybody believe this number? You saw more?
And this is why...
It's on television. It's on television. Does anybody believe this number? Does anybody really believe this number?
This is why the reporting is so important.
Does anybody really believe this number?
I put China on there so you could see
this matters going forward. We're in a live exercise here.
How basically unrealistic this could be.
Live exercise here. To get this right.
This was an elaborate military exercise. Check out the footage, though.
Live exercise here. To get this right. We are on you.
I may be lazy, I may be fat, I don't do laps, and I do not chat. I may be selfish, yeah, and all of that, but the one thing I'm not is a scaredy cat.
The one thing he's not is a scaredy cat.
I may be bossy, I may lack grace, I don't do sit-ups to trim my waist. I may be thoughtless, yeah, and all of that, but the one thing I'm not is a scaredy cat.
one thing he's not is a scaredy cat.
I don't have charm or much pizzazz. I don't chase mice and all that jazz. I may be sassy, yes, and all of that, but the one thing I'm not, yeah, the one thing I'm not, I say the one thing I'm not is a scaredy.
Here is my dad.
I went to Paris in France, found a little romance. She was walking down the boulevard. I know I should have been good, I never thought that I would. Double crossing, baby, cross my heart. Put a little rocking and a little wine, some me thinking about a little vine. What's a lonely boy to do? So fine. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get? Ooh, yeah. I never ever meant to swim. Wish you looked at me that way. When I was young and carefree, made me forget. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get?
This world is not what you think it is.
All the time. I don't know who took out the light. I really know she's in my arms. Hold tonight. I woke next day on my own. Little birdie had flown, left the number of the telephone. I walked right out on the street, spilling a hole in my jeans. A piece of paper with a message on. Should I call her up or should I tear it up? Think I'll call her up, then we can rip it up. What's boulevard. I know I should have been good. Never thought that I would be rubbing falsely, baby. Cross my heart. A little rockin' and a little stop me thinking about the little girl of mine. How could I be so cruel, my pet? Silly can you get? No more fooling around, you bet. How silly can you get?
Okay, did we get to everything? You all good? No. I think we got all the good ones, right? No. Huh? I can't hear you. Man, I don't have a song called Totes and what? Totes and Dotes? Is that? Totes and Dotes? Which show did you think you came to? Okay, well, got this far, you haven't figured it out yet.
Hey, Here's a protest song from Barking. Up in the morning and out of school, covering tests for being work next year. Qualifications was a golden rule. Now it's just pieces of paper. Just because you're better than me doesn't mean I'm lazy. Just because you're going forwards doesn't mean I'm going backwards. Look the part, you get the job. Last year's trousers and your old school shoes. Looking son, it's a buyer's market. They can afford to pick and choose. Just because you're better than me doesn't mean I'm lazy. Just because I dress like this doesn't mean I'm an activist. 21, you're on top of the scrappy. 16, you were top of your class. All they taught you at school's how to be a good worker. System has failed you, don't fail yourself. Just because you're better than me doesn't mean I'm lazy. Just because I dress like this doesn't mean I'm an activist.
Still not shattered that highest class ceiling, but someday
Business first, flat earthers licking their wounds.
Business
first, flat earthers licking their wounds.
Accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
First, flat earthers licking their wounds.
It's about total control. Mental, physical, spiritual, every way, shape, form possible.
You have to remember how big of a conspiracy this is. This isn't talking about just the JFK thing, or isn't talking about
take your name, so long. 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 Take your name.
take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name.
Open your mind. Open your mind.
Donald, and now you're ready for the most exciting game of all.
Oh, boy!
And the playing field for this game is in the mind. Uh-oh. Look at the condition of your mind. Antiquated idea. This game is played with circles and triangles. Think of a perfect circle.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind.
A perfect circle.
It's showtime.
而且路上好像还有 Charles， 而且路上这个，嘿嘿，现在还有 Charles， 感谢他们 ，Cheers down。
Flat Earth is flat, flat Earth ain't round. Just look at your feet down on the ground. Flat Earth is flat, flat Earth ain't round. Just take.
When, by buying a ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. 35 years ago, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole.
Yeah, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing, 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 astonishing.
asked on his podcast, The Big Podcast with Shaq, former NBA big man said, "It's true, the Earth is flat."
Shaquille O'Neal on his podcast, The Big Podcast with Shaq, is talking about how he also believes that the Earth is flat. That's right, Shaq is a flat earther.
Shaq is a flat earther?
Yes, here is what his explanation is.
It's true. The Earth is flat. There's 3 ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear.
Too many diamonds. That's too bright. That's too bright. Well, anyway.
Oh, Mason, are you a Mason?
Of course I am.
Okay. Secret Sarah.
Kyrie Irving is a superstar.
Kyrie, ridiculous handle. Oh, wow, Kyrie!
Kyrie, back in 2014, you got your first ever signature sneaker. Now 5 years later, you have your 6th. What has this journey been like for you with Nike?
Man, this one where it's just a complete blank canvas. Let's start from ground zero and let's build this into a huge, huge art piece that we can be proud of.
Irving driving right past Moran, right to the hoop and lays it through. He left everybody watching.
This is the same dude who says he believes in flat Earth.
But then he said he was just floating that out there to see what people would say.
Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Dave, we want you to head towards Station 4, and we'll advise you on what your rig looks like and the tasks that we want you to carry out once you arrive. Just start off in the direction of Station 4, please.
Thanks.
Should take your moon and the stars.
Here's why I believe that the lunar landing was fake. There is no way, at that time in history, and sent that video signal all the way to Earth. Absolutely 100% not. Let me tell you something.
So many miles. So many miles.
This here is the official lunar lander. When I usually show this to people, they automatically think it's a joke. No, seriously, this is an official photograph of the Apollo lunar lander. Fortunately, they took a close-up photograph as well. These were fake. They can't see now. But on the moon, for 3 days, the astronauts had to hop back into the ascent stage of the lunar lander and blast off the moon and catch up with the command module that had been orbiting at 4,000 miles per hour up to 3 days. Fortunately, the NASA astronauts knew exactly where the command module was after it had supposedly traveled 768,000 miles. It's also important to note that not one person on Earth was able to look at the command module orbiting the moon with a telescope.
Leave a little bit of fantasy, cause that's really what it seems like to me. Should take your moon and the stars away. So many miles, so many miles away. Should take your moon and the stars away. They'll even want to come and ask your price when you're lost on the avenue of broken dreams and attitudes. They'll even want to change your face, and at that point, baby, what's left to fake should take your moon and the stars away. Should take your moon and the stars away. So many miles, so many miles away. She'll take your moon and your stars away. Not today. You never take my moon and my stars away. Lord, I know you'll never get my moon and my stars. Forgive me, brother. Not today. She'll take your moon, she'll take your stars. Many miles, so many miles, trillions of miles. She'll take your moon and your stars. Not today, you'll never get my moon and my stars.
And you flew here from Sacramento, so were you able to confirm that the Earth is flat on that airplane?
It did look flat out of my window, but I wasn't able to measure it.
You measured it?
No, I have actually done that. I've taken a little level out, and you can use it to look out your airplane window and measure the tip of the horizon.
Is the Earth flat or round?
You never get my baby star, my
Go to the seashore. Go to a seashore and figure out why you can't see Spain. Just go through the middle of the Mississippi.
She'll take your moon and your stars away. Yeah.
Hard. Well, I get that's how that it works for most comedians, but I don't know. You're very subtle.
Subtle?
As a compliment, Seth. Subtle is good. Dry humor, like the British. Seth, I promise I'll get it right this time.
Okay. NASA announced last week. Tom!
Sorry. Look, good one.
NASA announced last week that it will no longer refer to planets and galaxies by offensive nicknames, so keep an eye out tonight for the Husky Dipper.
face jump. But the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. You don't see the curvature of the Earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
Get started with sheep, and you bring them to your homestead this spring.
Earth is flat. Get started with sheep, and you bring them to your homestead this spring. Earth is flat.
Hand. All right, Seinfeld, that's it. Let's go.
Go away. You know we've changed so much more than your playground. You'll be safe, but stay uptown. Go away. You know we've changed so much more than your playground. You'll be safe, but stay uptown. Go away. You're a big disgrace with a skip and a beat, then you're in. Go away. Every reader was a metal complaining all the time about the door. Go away. I don't know it. This what you come for. This what you're looking for. Papa Prince Harry. Girl like to marry. Save up all your USDs for British University.
Start this off with all kind of words. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. The finest day that I ever had was when I learned my mind was hijacked. I'll start this off. You say she raised me alright. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. The brainless sheep were brainwashed again. They try to take you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. I'm on a plane. I found my brain. I'm on a plane. Somehow I have known this before. In a dream my memory stored. Thinking fast, I know there's no space. Why waste? Now's the time to make it all clear. Two bright old minds that all make sense. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong, now I know the truth. One more special message to go. Assa's done, they should go home. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong, now I know the truth. I'm on a plane, I'm on my brain. I'm on a plane, I'm on my brain. I'm on a plane, I'm on my brain. I'm on a plane, I'm on my brain.
Oh no, hard to show.
language you can understand.
You ever heard of the game Club Penguin?
They give anything.
In order to see the true nature of the Earth, we have to remove a completely false narrative. very interesting here. Here's what's happening. What you're seeing here is Photoshop, but it has to be.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible, and you can tell it's for CGI because it looks so fake, honestly. You know, the colors.
Guys, it's an act. Try to watch as much as I can stomach this week.
And look at this picture. My brother, my sister, and me. Look at his sweatshirt, Doc. Classic.
And it doesn't look as great at the beginning. And then they'll look at, by the time they see it many, many times, it becomes the most, and they can't take their eyes off it. Whereas art that's not great, you look at it, it's beautiful at the beginning, but you...
This week has us wondering, are we marketing on a flat Earth?
Wasn't there a time when the brightest minds in the world believed that the Earth was flat?
The world is flat.
That they claim we live on. I'm sorry to tell you, the only thing that's been to space is your imagination. There is no such thing as space.
Meow, 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 meow. The Earth is flat, and that's what's up.
Fool, if you think it's over.
The Earth is flat, and that's what's up.
Newborn eyes always cry with
The Earth is
pain.
flat, and that's what's up, but they just give you
sun.
CGI.
Fool, if you think it's over, you'll be gone. This teenage dream, such a tragic scene. Not your crown, ran away.
But we know the Earth is flat.
First wound
Like a
of
man
pride.
under a cat, and that's
When
what's
I
up.
cried and cried, save your tears.
For thousands of years, all ancient civilizations knew the Earth was flat.
Fool, if you think it's over.
You don't see the curvature of the Earth. It got you by the balls. It's baseball. He just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. It got you by the balls. No examples of wide-angle lenses curving horizontal. I tweeted that. But I don't want to be a small, curmudgeon or anything.
It's the oldest question in the world.
What'll I have for dinner? Wow.
We took the label off Aquafresh to show you what nobody else has. Our triple protection formula. all the cavity-fighting fluoride of the leading paste. All the breath freshener of the leading gel. And gentle cleaners that even remove stained film. Concentrated in one complete toothpaste.
Liquid black is added to the water. No one is entirely sure what liquid black is or where it comes from, but it consistently makes the tastiest sodas known to man.
So that's what triple protection looks like.
Triple Protection Aquafresh, a complete toothpaste.
Severe Cold Formula. Severe Cold Formula? How about contract? No, Severe Cold Formula has more Produce for fever, aches, even coughing. Don't talk. Take it.
When you really are sick. Colds and flu can trigger bronchial asthma attacks. Be prepared with Primatene Mist. Primatene, the fastest type relief known for occasional attacks, restores free breathing in as fast as 15 seconds. Or to keep breathing freely for hours, Primatene tablets. Primatene tablets.
Dr. Fiskus treats a patient who took a stab at golf.
This happened on the golf course, sir? If I were you, I'd find a friendlier...
Wednesday, real people meet some models who are real pigs. Then Blair's obsessed with her boyfriend, and the girls try to deprogram her.
You have to go cold turkey.
And get ready for TV's best loved families.
I'm ready.
Family Ties. Then, is Quincy guilty of arson?
This is not a courtroom. This is an inquisition.
Sponsored by GTE. Here is Linda Ellerby.
Good evening. Inmates at the Ossining Prison north of New York City tonight said over a bullhorn they've released 4 hostages in exchange for cigarettes and food. That would leave 13 guards still held hostage. The siege began 2 days ago. Earlier today, state officials offered the inmates a deal which has not yet been accepted. More in a moment.
Imagine solar-powered telephone calls.
Gee.
No, GTE.
NBC News correspondent Lisa Myers reports tonight that Senate Majority Leader Howard Baker will soon announce he won't run for re-election in 1984. He may instead seek the Republican presidential nomination.
$6.50. Wednesday, real people meet. WFMJ, Youngstown.
Now, this afternoon we have... Or to keep breathing freely for hours, Primatene tablets.
Possible. But I got a bucket of fish.
Things at the beach, things you do at the beach, all that sort of stuff. 30 seconds on the clock. Joey, let's go.
Swimming.
Swimming. That's not what we're looking for.
Water.
Water's not what we're looking for.
Bathing suits.
Think about things you bring to the beach.
Umbrella.
Umbrella is correct. Okay, we had the beach chair, the umbrella. We also had up there an air mattress, a beach ball, a book, a boom box, a cooler. We had some other ones. Let's get back up there and play more Get the Picture.
Each recipe begins with a violet hose spray of filtered water.
Like flat earthers! Flat earthers! Flat earthers! Flat earthers! Flat earthers!
And in case there are any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Is it really possible to suffer cold symptoms in space? You bet it is. It happened to me on Apollo 7, and it could happen on the new space shuttles, too. That's why all manned U.S. space flights carry Actifed. Even in space, Actifed relieves a stuffy nose and sinuses, runny nose and sneezing. But you don't have to travel into space to get full-strength Actifed. It's available without a prescription, right here on Earth. Actifed, the cold tablet most recommended by doctors. Now in capsules and 12-hour capsules.
Well, it's a real meal. 2 tantalizing entrees, a medium drink, and dessert. All for $2.89. Choose from 3 delicious combinations.
The Best of Times, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, January 31st at Select Theater.
This machine makes metal casings and headaches. The ones I take Anacin for.
Anacin, 23% more medicine than regular pain relief.
And in case there are any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Young people from all over for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
My part too.
sprung a leak, growing all the grass with the drippings from the ceiling. We don't need to save fish, 'cause they're all already swimming.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
This is the way. Dom is in the way. Yeah. Dom is in the way. Dom is in the way. Yeah. Dom is in the way. Dom is in the way. Yeah. Dom is in the way. Yeah.
It's just tater. It's just an old chip, but not this. Is a new Cajun spice ruffled potato chip. Look at them ridges full of cayenne pepper, onion, garlic, paprika. Oh, this is Cajun spice. Ain't nothing flat about it.
Try new Cajun Spice Ruffles brand potato chips with a feisty, spicy bite in every crunch. It's the new taste that won't leave you flat.
Oh, boy, they wonderments I guarantee.
As soon as number one gets here.
Number one? What kind of stupid wiener name is that? Oh, no!
I think you should have to take a different oath.
Everyone takes the same oath. You have lit the rocks of ignorance that obscure the light of knowledge and truth.
What's this?
Stealing your wallet while we're working on you.
Oh, and don't bother calling 911 anymore. Here's the real number.
Jorden är platt som en pannkaka, jiddly-haddly-ho. Jorden är platt som en pannkaka, det kan ju vem som helst förstå. Det ser man ju, då är det så. Och jorden är platt som en ocean, jiddly-haddly-ho. Och jorden är platt som en ocean, det är nog fel att säga det, men det är ju faktiskt så det är.
That's why I know we haven't been to the moon.
Coronavirus up your arm. Stick your coronavirus up your arm. If you stick your coronavirus, you know the people love us. Stick your coronavirus up your arm. I'd rather be a human than a slave. Oh, I'd rather be a human. Don't you know that you can rather be a human than a slave?
Trees. Tree.
Thanks to modern editing techniques, we can use existing footage to
go with the flat earth theory.
You know I had to tell him. Yeah. Check Earth is flat. Bro, you need to check your facts. I got high up through the roof, and I landed on the moon.
If you've ever had this feeling,
in reality, everything is just in 2D, like a video game from 1983. Sides growing up and down the street, while y'all sleep. Call me B.O.B. cause I don't see the curve. Messing up my vibe, yeah, you got a lot of nerve. They say that we archaic. For me and my homies, we don't say it, we just
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'ma leave it, namaste it. Do your research, how much I gotta say it. Earth is flat. Bro, you need to check your facts. I got high up through the roof, and I landed on the moon. The moon flat too. In reality,
fascinating. And how that works exactly.
In 2D, like a video game from 1983. Sides growing up and down the street, while y'all sleep. Y'all sleep. Y'all sleep.
The skull and crossbones flag in Ron's office. Lying to the public in the media.
Seamless, huh?
Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. Cause I can't keep track of the words you say. Slow down, slow down. You heard me
every day. Look into it. They believe it. The narration is all programming. What's above us, what we're on, we're being lied to, and everyone watches that. That's always been the plan.
Eddie! Ladies and gentlemen,
the world is flat.
What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there?
Once you go flat, you never go back. Look into it. Once you go flat, you never go back. Once you go flat, you never go back. Flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth theory. Einstein said it himself.
ridiculous.
Look into it. Look into it. Alien invasion. That's always been the plan. Alien invasion. A one world government.
We were driving on the road and we saw something in the sky. Alien.
Alien invasion.
Alien.
Alien invasion. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it.
So what are we doing? The medley. What medley?
But it's very, very special because if you can see,
Yeah.
the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
And most of
11, and
the
then
amps go up to 10.
Gonna find out eventually. It's all. No one ever gets into flat Earth and then turns back. You don't.
Oh, yeah, I'm creating the flow. Yeah, here I go. The earth is flat and you's a hoe.
All my life I've been in touch with all the times I've been in love. Road was rough, hurt so much all along the journey.
Out if he agreed to be on their podcast. During his time on Corridor Cast, Logan reveals that the documentary was originally slated for December 15, 2018, but now he hopes to drop it in early February. Right after that, LP explains this documentary is his best work and he's hoping it'll make a Shane Dawson level splash on YouTube.
United States went to the moon just for fun. In North Korea landed on the sun. I said, ooh, look what you've done. I said, ooh, look what you done. Richard Nixon, telephone home. So why don't won't you trust King Jong-un? I said, look what you've done. Oh, yeah. I said, look what you've done. United States went to the moon just for fun. And North Korea landed on the sun. I said, ooh, look what you've done. I said, ooh, look what you've done. Yeah. I said, ooh, look what you've done. I said, ooh, look what you've done.
Perfect white, I see a dove. Will my love be enough? Praying that I'm worthy. Though my bones are old, my mentality is younger. And although my brawn is cold, my will keeps growing stronger. Now I know I'm all alone, 'cause the world keeps getting smaller. So I grow a heart of stone. I can't be broken any longer. Even though my bones are old, my mentality is younger. And although my brawn is cold, my will keeps growing stronger. Now I know I'm all alone, 'cause the world keeps getting smaller. So I grow a heart of stone. Can't be broken any longer.
And we never see a curve.
It's there, and mathematics proves it.
But mathematics doesn't make it feel like I'm spinning.
Well, you are. And the luminaries are suns, and the wandering stars are globes just like Earth.
So Mars is
A globe, yes.
Jupiter, Venus,
Globes.
the moon.
A globe.
And what about a sun?
Fully flat. It's a fiery ball of gas 150 million kilometers
What do you
away.
guys have emphasis on focusing, precision, standard,
fully
and
flat,
just
flat, with fully flat.
So you're living on a flat earth plane. It's like a chessboard. And it doesn't matter where you live on this flat earth plane, every compass is pointing inward to the center of the dish.
Here's why I believe that the lunar landing was fake.
The book is called The World is Flat.
These chips taste flat, Mac.
The book is called The World is Flat.
from childhood, they have been showing us the truth. They showed it to us in a way that no one could acknowledge it as the truth. Take a look at this.
All clear. The cat's gone. Come on out, fellas.
You understand what the cat is? What the mouth is? Let's keep watching.
Hey, where is everybody?
What's the rush? I'm not going to hurt you. Look what I've got for you. Later.
Look what I got for you. Some cheese. Cheese is something to chase, to something to desire. You know, like money, big house, a fancy car, a vacation, whatever.
Listen, you can have all the cheese you want. Oh, understand.
You can have all the cheese you want if you
Okay. There. That's better. Now get going.
Hi, Hitler! You think it's a joke? You don't think that's real? Okay.
That cat he done told me out there in the kitchen. That cat he done told you what? Oh, he's come here to save us.
Look familiar? Look familiar?
And not to enslave us. That cat's a rat just the same. Oh, no.
The cat didn't come to enslave us. He come to save us. Look familiar?
Oh, kids, that cat is a two-face. A treacherous single, leave us to sing the blues tonight. Please take my advice and don't be naughty mice. Appease him, or he'll get offended. He wants to protect us from the ones who wrecked us. Please him. He wants to protect us. That's what I've been saying. Get out of here, then hurry and...
The cat wants to protect us. Are you paying attention?
Sign a truce, no fight.
Does this look familiar? Does this look like our life? We're working and we're slaving to provide the cat with a luxurious life.
Did you ever have a feeling that you wanted something, but you didn't know what it was?
Yeah, oh sure. I always get that feeling too.
I know. I want a nice, fat, tender mouse.
Yes, sir, one nice fat tender mouse!
You reckon? He wants a nice, fat, tender you.
Look at them run!
You're a nice, fat, tender mouse. You're you.
Sharp. Richard is so white and the stuff that you're made of. Remember to never say die.
We'll do more than that. Let's get rid of that cat.
There you are. There we are. Is it not?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. We did it before and we can do it again. And we
Here we come.
will do it again. Because the head of the song, super two, and we did it before and we can do it again. And we will do it again.
We're going to fight against the enemy. We're not going to take it anymore, are we? Are you catching on?
Now listen, man. The back is out of a guy, you better leave a side attention on the sub, see? And remember, above all, you head over to Jimbo, reckon I'm Fosco Pet.
Do you realize who the characters are in the movie yet? In the cartoon? What you're being shown? I hope you do.
Danny Schnipper and L on a Pelicanusha. You got that? Okay.
What family am I?
That's it for that video, but I hope you get it. I hope you understand what we have been shown and brainwashed in our entire life. You have no idea, or maybe you do, how important what I just showed you is. Do you? The success of this video will show the answer to that question.